Oh, good morning, and who's here?
Suzanne here.
Say it again.
Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne. Welcome. How's Brian? Are you Brian's friend?
No.
I get you two mixed up. I'm sorry.
I do. Okay.
Glad to have you here. And who else is here?
Paramatma, I'm here.
Hi, Paramatma. Welcome. And who else?
Nora from Juneau.
Oh, hi, Nora. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Good, well.
Welcome. Is this your first time?
No, I've been on before. Let's see. Do you know
Shushma
Munder? Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Good. Well, welcome. Is Huddy Munder here?
You.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, hi, dear. Welcome.
Thank you.
Who else is here?
Surinder Jot here.
I beg your pardon?
Surinder Jot.
Oh, hi, Surrender Jote. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
Here.
Good. Yeah, good to have you. And who else is here?
Guru Ravi.
Oh, hi, Guru Ravi. Welcome.
Hello.
And who else?
Sadanam.
Kehar.
Sadanam and Kehar. Welcome. We're having fun on our Soul Answer group, aren't we? Fun of the best kind.
Yes.
I love it when everybody contributes. And who else is here? Oh, I know there's some people hiding out, but that's okay. God bless you all. Okay, so let's get started. Long, deep breath. And sitting straight, breathing from the belly through the nose. And relaxing. Relaxing. Good. Attention at the third eye point. Good. And now we are going to do our tuning in mantra for protection and guidance. Palms together at the center of the chest if you can. Inhale. Om. Long deep breath. Let's have long deep breath. And now begin heart breath. That is, on the exhale, feel as though the air is coming out of your heart center. Keep up heart breath. Good. And now continue to send heart breath to everyone who is on this call or who listens to the recording, and allow yourself to join heart breath with one another. Good. Good. And now we are going to need to do heart breath for someone or a group of people who need healing. So Baba Siri Chand says, please someone speak up and tell us who that is.
Jessica.
Good. Jessica. Okay, she's the one with the liver situation?
Yes.
And what happened?
She's having a biopsy of the liver and kidneys today.
Okay, good. Let's send heart breath to Jessica. And to whatever or to whomever else you feel needs it or could use it. Good. And now expand that to everyone who is in some kind of sickness or fear of sickness, or has someone that they know close to them who has an illness. Good. Okay. Now inhale. And exhale. Good. And being present, very present. Okay, so Baba Siri Chand says, do you know what it is to go through an illness? He says a number of you have done that yourself, or you have accompanied someone or some animal also on their illness. He says it is a very difficult and very disrupting situation. He says, you know that. It can tear your heart apart. It can tear your whole being apart. It can stress you out no end. It can take you through monumental loops that you never, ever thought that you could cherish. He says cherish. Sir, why did you say cherish? He says because it is in those monumental loops that you were taken apart. He says you were fried, you were flayed from one end to the other. He says, my dears, do you understand what an opportunity that is? in that opportunity, you can either try to hold on to what was and be upset and worried and so on. He says that totally mixes you up and continues to create ever-increasing loops of consciousness that hold you back. He says, or you can take it as the very most extraordinary opportunity to allow yourself to change. Now, he's not saying to change yourself. He says the intention is important to allow yourself to be changed. He says in these situations, of course, the intention is always for renewed health. Of course it is. He says, but don't hold on to it so tightly that you strangle yourself. He says, let the God take care of it. He says, open yourself. He says, tell you about the video of Yogi Bhajan that I saw last night. Let me see. I'm going to say it briefly. The doctor ordered, this is obviously an Ayurvedic doctor, ordered certain pills for a person who was dying. They were given, and he assured everyone that the girl would get better. She did not get better. She died. The doctor was so upset, he said, bring the girl to him, and he instructed his students to put out all the books of knowledge and healing, make a whole, and put the girl on top and make a funeral pyre. That was going to be her cremation on these books of knowledge, and he was going to burn himself also. But what happened was an angel came and said, don't do this. He says, but I must. He says, this is worthless. The angel told him, the angel said, but I have to do my job also. So I did not allow the medicine to penetrate that girl. He says, this is the will of God. He says, my job is the will of God. He says, you do what you can do, but the angel's job was the will of God. In other words, we respect that will of God. We have our intention, but we are loose enough, we are open enough to accept the will of God and to have wonderment in it. He says this also includes not only physical diseases, difficulties, and accidents, but it also includes mental diseases, mental setbacks, what we used to call retardation, and other challenges. He says, begin to understand that this is the will of God. Oh, my God. He says, and sit back and wonder. He says, do not look at it from the place of hope set in cement. You look at it in wonder to see what the God has in store. In other words, a great consciousness of who you are and what this universe is. He says, and that is what we serve. That is what we learn from. We call this the Guru. This is the God teaching us. He says, and learn every morsel. He says, this is what your sadhana is for. This is what your mantras are for. This is what your kriyas are for. He says, to loosen you up so that you can marvel in the wonder of the God's will. There are lessons to be had at every turn. There are opportunities for growth for whoever is sick and all those around them. At every turn. The quality, he calls it the quality of management, is to relax and to flow into the will. He says you may be given, for instance, if you were taking care of someone, you may be given instructions on how to help that person. Oh, my God. He's telling me to tell a story. In taking care of my own mom, where to begin? Well, she had complications. They put the breathing tube down her throat wrong, so her tongue swelled up like twice the size and turned black and all that. So I heard to get seaweed, that big flat seaweed, and to soak it in cold water and put it on her tongue and to leave it there. And the nurses got on the program and so on, and they kept up with it, and she started getting better. But then a doctor came in, and he was highly mortified. This was not his instruction. Of course, he was coming from his ego. He discontinued it, and he said to put this other medical stuff on it. Oh, God, I don't know if I want to tell all this. Anyway, what happened was a fungus started growing on her tongue. Fuzzy fungus, like the stuff in the back of the refrigerator. Anyway, we all thought it was funny, but it was tragic, but it was funny. But anyway, what he's saying is that healing instructions can come through you. Okay? Keep up your breath, please. He says he knows that illness, accident, and difficulties are scary. He says, but relax. Relax in me so that you may get the knowledge, so that you may get the understanding. Remember, each person has made their own soul agreements for the karmas that they will, he says, the karmas that they will possess in this lifetime. In other words, he calls it the scrutiny of the karma. That means the karmic situations that we have, how can I say, put on the account books from other lifetimes to be encountered in this lifetime. He says, so understand that we are making good our accounts at every turn, including being sick ourselves or helping those who are sick. He says, it's simply part of the whole plan, so don't get upset by this. Well, he says, but if you do get upset, don't get guilty, oh please. He says, do your best to relax in me, to relax in Guru Ramdas, Yogi Bhajan, and all the angels and the saints, and whoever else any other personage, he calls it, of this sort. He says, please relax. They are the real caregivers. And understand that energy, if you're taking care of a person, flows through you to the person who is needing it. And if you yourself are the person who is sick or injured, you do the same. He says it is a most marvelous task, a most marvelous situation to unite with the divine in your healing. Oh, he's asking me to tell you another story of mine. Okay, the other story is that I was working out at a gym, and I asked the trainer how to lose weight, my perpetual challenge. He said to have more protein than fats or carbohydrates. So I started taking this soy protein powder, morning, noon, and night. And what happened was my short-term memory disappeared. I was like, duh. I prayed. I said, what can I do? I have no clue what to do, and I'm powerless. I had no idea what it was about. I happened to be in a bookstore. I felt to buy this book about breast cancer because my mom had that. And it was just lying on my bedroom floor, and I was lying on the bed looking down. And the book happened to open to a study of Australian prisoners that said that some of the prisoners, when they had a lot of soy, lost their memory. Oh, my God. So I quit taking the soy, and I got my memory back. But do you see how that was total divine intervention? He says, don't be afraid of soy now. Do not be afraid of soy. It's very good for a lot of people. Okay. But what he's telling us is that as we ask for divine help, if we lay ourselves open to it, it is available to us. He says, and also I have described how sometimes that help is not given, but do not punish the God, do not punish yourself. He said it's the will of the God. He says this karmic setup is very monumental. He says it's very extraordinary. The most important thing is that you relax with it. Relax with it to allow the healing, the knowledge, the love, the heart breath, the kindness to move through you, and to ride on what we would call God's will. Okay? And do that very personally. God's will is not an abstract situation. No, we are here to understand that we are in God's will, that we flow with it, that we live this partnership, this kindness, this openness with God's will, rather than being scared of it, rather than being petrified of it, running in the opposite direction, calling it darkness. He says, oh no, it is light. See through the darkness to apprehend the light. This is very important. Every dark situation, see through it to see the light. He says this is the process of the God's will. This is the openness of the God's will. He says, and that's what your lifetimes are about. They are simply to ride, to surf on, to enjoy. What he's showing me is, you know those little boats at sometimes at amusement parks, like those little boats that are made to look like a swan moving on a placid lake? He says, put yourself in one of those boats. He says, you are the king or the queen. He says, you are the royalty of moving in that swan of peaceful movement. Understand that. Understand that kindness, that openness, that preciousness. Understand that how you are given the opportunity at every moment to flow in that swan boat in God's will. You see apparent darkness. You feel apparent darkness. It is your challenge in the life to look through the apparent darkness to the pure light. To the pure light. As you do, you will train yourself. You will train yourself over and over again to live in, to perceive, to be a member of, so to speak, that pure, blessed light. He says that's the reason I have never talked to you about evil. It's very important for you to look through what other people call evil, the darkness. To understand that there is a whole will of the infinite going on here. He says, I know that may sound very, very harsh because of all the difficult and terrible things that happen. He says, but the people who have those situations in their lives are being called to open entirely, to divest of holding, whether it be energetic holding, whether it be emotional holding, whether it be conceptual holding or blaming or whatever, and letting go the fear letting go the fear, the annihilation, the despair, and moving through to the kindness and the glory of the light. He said, it is not always apparent. You know, when you go to a movie, when you sit down the first 10 minutes, you get to know the characters, but you don't know what's going to happen. He says you don't know the troubles that are going to emerge, and you don't know the resolution. He says, understand from the point of view that even if a person's body is taken from you, that person, he says her physical body dies and is taken away from you. But in fact, he says that real person never dies. They are the light. They are the light. It is very important for each of us to understand that within our own he calls it, within our own self, within our own environment, security, and safety. And he says it is important to understand that when we regard those that we love, when we know the people around us are blessed and friendly animals. He says it is all the light. So he says, now, please begin to know. Please begin to know your best beloveds as the light. Use your heart breath. He says, go beyond the personality. He says, don't disregard it, but go through it. Same with their appearance. Don't discard it, but unite it with a full picture, the total picture, the total understanding of the light of each person, that identical identity that comes through so many lifetimes, so many physical bodies, so many environments. Understand your best beloveds to be the kindness, the patience, the purity of the light. And begin to relate to them in that way. Even if you have squabbles, even if you have long time dissociations with them, doesn't matter. Understand them as the light who are the gift to you. The gift to you to understand, ascertain, and be with in this lifetime. Remember, it's all opportunity. There is nothing that is not opportunity. Feel that blessing. No person, no event, no environment that is not an opportunity. He's not saying that we will totally enjoy every situation, every encounter. No. He says, but do understand it. Understand it as an opportunity. He says, and allow yourself to be transformed in that regard. Allow the pure blessing of your heart breath to enter into this transformative process. Do that now with your heart breath. See the light. See the light in your loved ones. See the light in the difficult situations. And be that light yourself. Maintain that light. Maintain that association. Keep up with the heart breath. allow yourself to expand in that union, in that light of union. He says if you don't, and if you want to, you could even do this to the archetype of, say, the opposite political party. That might be a little challenge. Find the opportunity. Find the light. It could be an ancestor that perhaps brought a lot of chaos to the family. Find the light. Find the light. Remember, we are not alone. At the root of it all, we are the one. And in our precious and divine karmic path, we have chosen certain ones, certain manifestations of the light to travel this path with. Look for the opportunity. Look for the healing, which healing is letting go. He calls it letting go of the absurd triangle. So what does that mean? He says the absurd triangle is feeling as though your blessing is a curse, that you are bound to the darkness that is inherent in leaving the all-knowing. He says elevate yourself, and he calls that the bottom side of the triangle. He says now elevate yourself to the apex or the point of the triangle, to the knowledge that all is light. All is light in whatever disguise it is taking. Keep up the breath. And now allow that light to rain down on that attachment or short-sightedness that we call darkness. And watch what happens, he says. Watch what happens. Understand the true blessing. The true blessing and the essential seed kernel of what this existence is all about. What this cycle of births and deaths is all about. Be present. Be present. It is not running from anything. It is not throwing anything away. It is seeking the light, the wisdom, the opportunity, and all that comes your way. And the path to that is to acknowledge the God's will and to regard it with wonder. To learn to transform, to swim on the back of the swan in the peaceful and placid lake. Keep up the breath. Truly know what's going on with you right now. Understand it, experience it. Good. Now inhale and exhale. And he says, oh, my blesseds, oh, my blessed beloved. He says, I'm poking somebody now to share. He says, please respond to my poke. Who can share? Yes, Guru Ravi.
Mm-hmm. That was just Satnam, just vibrating with the truth, the deep truth of all of that, just touching so many aspects as I go back in memory of my own life and ancestral memories. It was just so, I just feel like a deep vibration inside of me of Satnam.
Oh, how wonderful. How wonderful. Isn't it marvelous to feel and see the simplicity and the complexity that happens when you go for the light?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, dear. And thank you so much for your intention and your constant healing for Jessica.
Thank you.
We have her in our prayers.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Now, who else can share?
I have one. This is Suzanne.
Yes, who is this?
Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne.
Hey. I had wanted to ask Baba Siri Chand if this would be, if I got it right.
Okay, go ahead.
I got rear-ended by a car at a stoplight. And
when?
Yes, another accident. And so when I'm supposed to go out of town this weekend and take a lady to this yoga workshop, and I called her. I said, well, can you drive? I don't have a car anymore. And she said, no, you can drive, but I can't. And I understood why she was afraid. And so I'm starting to think that when things happen, even though it looks like a bad thing happened to me, it's the only way it could be disclosed that she is living in some kind of fear. I don't know why, but like it's almost like that puzzle piece of fitting into forcing her to expose her to let go of fear. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so how did he tell you to handle it?
I'm driving her car, and I because of things I've been through, I don't have fear about
Good for you.
Going through the situation, and that it includes the car wreck as well. And but it felt like a tool. It didn't feel like it. I don't know. Guessing. It just felt like, oh, is this how it works? I'm supposed to not be driving. It made me kind of laugh, thinking, really? Is that how it works?
Yes, that's how it works. He says, good work. He says,
good.
And as you drive, he says, I will tell you how to extend the heart breath to her and help her through her fear. He says, don't be self-conscious about it. Huh?
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that.
Yes. He says there's opportunity for the light everywhere. Everywhere. Good, good work, dear. Isn't it amazing? Once you get into this frame of mind, the whole life, the whole will of God turns sort of like an interconnected magic show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I think so.
It's no longer random. It's no longer separate. It's like you keep watching the show, keep interacting with the flow of the show. It's quite astonishing. But it's important that you hold the space of the light, and understand it from that level. Good. Thank you, dear. Have fun.
Yeah.
And who else can share? Oh, I know there's somebody else.
This is Amrit.
Oh, Amrit. Hi, dear.
Hi.
Well, you certainly must have a lot to share here with all that's gone on with you.
as I'm listening to it, and I'm chuckling to myself now outwardly, but of all the different things and the opportunities as you put them, and all I can say is for everything that has happened and continues to happen with me, if I did not look at them as opportunities or be able to have the perspective and the wisdom to stay in God's will and everything, I would be a mess. I would have been an absolute basket case a long time ago without being able to have that to help me to get through everything that I've been able to get through, and to help many, many others be able to get through. Because sometimes we forget it, and we need to be reminded of that. These are opportunities. These aren't bashings. These aren't, finger pointing opportunities or anything. They truly are your own personal opportunities to grow and to really relish those moments and experiences because they're priceless.
That's right.
But they do hurt sometimes.
Well, they do hurt. That's true.
Yes, they do hurt sometimes.
May I tell people briefly what some things that you've encountered?
Yeah,
or would you
absolutely.
rather not?
Oh, absolutely. I've always put myself out there to be able to help people with everything that I've experienced. So absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to talk about recently. In the past few years, she had there's other stuff, but in the past few years, a few years ago, she was rear-ended severely and has suffered traumatic brain injury, which has been very difficult. She hasn't been able to work. Her insurance cut her off illegally. Court case, how can I say this?
Bad attorneys.
Yeah, really bad attorneys, so that didn't come through for her. And
lost
so
my
on.
Case.
Lots of cases.
I lost my case because of the bad attorneys.
Right. She was just stopped at a stoplight, and this guy totally rammed into her. So anyway, she has, oh my God, Amrit, you've had so much opportunity. God bless you, dear. God bless you. I don't mean to minimize it all, but I'm saying God bless you. Okay, thank you.
It just presented more opportunities to be able to help other people by my experiences, to hopefully give them strength to go through what they need to go through, and realize, one, they're not alone, and two, that they truly are vehicles for growth. And to never, no matter how dark it, I call it being, it's very easy to go down the deep, dark hole, as I call it. But to be able to have, the understanding so you don't go down that deep, dark hole, or know if you are there that somebody's reaching out to be able to pull you up out of it.
Good, and go to the light. Stay in the light.
Yes.
Not always an easy task, but it's right there available.
Yes.
Good. Thank you, dear. Thank you so much.
You.
Who else can share?
I'd like to share Nora from Juneau.
Yes, dear.
Yes. Something that happened with me that I'm so thankful, first of all, to have you this morning, being the conduit with Baba Siri Chand. Baba Siri Chand. I'm sorry.
Yes. No, you got it.
I know who we're talking about. And what brought to light for me is that my sister, my dear younger sister, is in the fourth stage of cancer right now, living through it, and she has four young children.
Okay, so now we are going to put her and her family in our heart breath intention. Okay, our healing heart breath intention.
Thank you.
Yes. Now go on. Was there something more that you wanted to say about that?
Yes. When we first heard, forgive me for the crying, but I cry a lot lately these days. I laugh and I cry a lot.
Right.
When we were first heard of this and we're going through it, I live in Juneau, and it's very difficult to fly out of here to get to where she is. And she's going through the stages of where they call it medical terminology, where you're kind of spiraling. You know, you get better one day and just terrible the next day. And so the only thing that I could think of to do, which I'm so glad that I did, was I've been trying to learn a little bit more about energy and healing with energy, and so I did a healing touch on her. I asked her if I could, but I pictured her body here with me, and and so I did this healing touch, and I had totally forgotten all about this. I mean, the intention was there. I was just sending all the healing that I could, and just yesterday when we spoke, she let me know that she just, and I had forgotten this, but she just felt, it's like, it's been just such a beautiful thing to see her life just change. And it's because, as you say, these opportunities that we're presented with, that her entire life has just changed. But she was telling me that she felt that light and the healing, and it's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing that we can do.
How extraordinary. Mm-hmm. How extraordinary.
And so I appreciate very much today sending the healing to her. She will gladly embrace it. Thank you.
How wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that very challenging story with us, but so elevating. It's very important that we understand. You know, we're coming out of what I'm going to call is the dark age. And the darkness is believing that we're separate. Okay, that we are helpless, that we are powerless. Okay, but what Nora has just talked about, and I'm sure that everybody here has understood this and seen this, that we share this energy. This energy is available. Okay, it does not know, it is not corralled by time and space. It is very real, and this energy, this light really has the ability to move, to pull, to, how can we say, magnetize a person and all of their aspects to this light. So Nora, you're being very appreciated for relying on that. Thank you so much for sharing.
And I feel very fortunate to have people that have taught me this and that share with me, and I as well share with others. And I just can't tell you how much I appreciate that so much.
Good, thank you. So this is a lesson to all of us. Share this with other people. If you feel the person is going to be open, teach them heart breath. Show them how to use it. It's so simple, okay? But it is so powerful, okay? Or any other energetic healing modalities that you know about. Please do that. God bless you, dear. Thank you so much. And one more.
Well, I guess I could talk about my sister Anne, because that's this is Paramatma.
Yes.
Yeah, my sister Anne, she just feels like life is meaningless. Like she's not motivated, and you know, she smokes and she doesn't know how to get herself motivated. And my sister and I send her a lot of prayer, and I had a dream about her recently where
my two sisters and I were out in a place like maybe it was Ireland where and life was very simple. It was like we were transported back into a different time where life was very, very simple, and you just work hard and marriage is what marriage is or whatever. It doesn't have the complexities of life today. And in this dream, Anne was perfectly fine. She was happy, and she can cope in that kind of simplistic world.
Mm-hmm.
I really got that, and I told my other sister about that, and she said, yeah, that's what she gets too, is that Anne would be perfectly fine in a very simple world, but she just doesn't know how to cope with the complexities of today, and she won't take that first step. And my sister and I both gave her the books Anastasia because we thought maybe it would move her consciousness, and it does seem to have moved her consciousness to a place where she's allowing herself to open up on a very subconscious level, rather not real conscious level, but
good.
I get things through dreams rather than just sitting and intuitively hearing a voice or something. Yeah.
Good. Wonderful. And continue to send her heart breath.
Yeah.
For her own support and your prayers. It's really quite miraculous what a difference they do make. And we have chosen, our soul has chosen our companions for this lifetime, our family members for this lifetime, for real reasons. Now, isn't your sister lucky to have chosen you and your other sister?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe returning a favor from other lifetimes. Good. Okay, so keep up, dear. Wonderful. Okay, so everybody just tune in with each other with some more heart breath. Understanding the power of that connection, that light. Always seeing the light through the darkness. Go through the darkness, find the light. Okay, palms together. And Kehar, would you lead us in the closing song?
Yes. Inhale. May the Lord shine upon you. All around you. And the pure light within you. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on.
Inhale. And bow to this beautiful infinite light that is present, that is you, that is all. God bless you all, and talk to you next week. And by the way, as he always says, please come and join us on our Facebook group. It's a closed group, and share your experiences. We want to hear from you. And the most marvelous thing has been happening. People have been sharing heart breath, this healing energy, as a group, and it's totally miraculous. Okay, so the URL for that is facebook.com/groups, GROUPS/Soulwancer. So God bless you all, and talk to you soon. Putnam. Enjoy the light.
Bye-bye.
Hello. Good morning, and who's here?
Suzanne here.
Say it again.
Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne. Welcome. How's Brian? Are you Brian's friend?
No.
I get you two mixed up. I'm sorry.
I do. Okay.
Glad to have you here. And who else is here?
Paramatma, I'm here.
Hi, Paramatma. Welcome. And who else?
Nora from Juneau.
Oh, hi, Nora. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Good. Well,
welcome. Is this your first time?
No. I've been on before. Let's see. Do you know
Shushma?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Good. Well, welcome. Is Hari Munder here?
You.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, hi, dear. Welcome.
Thank you.
Who else is here?
Surinder Jot here.
I beg your pardon?
Surinder Jot.
Oh, hi, Surrender Joe. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
Here.
Good. Yeah, good to have you. And who else is here?
Guru Ravi.
Oh, hi, Guru Ravi. Welcome.
Hello.
And who else?
Sadanam.
Kehar.
Sadanam and Kehar. Welcome. We're having fun on our Soul Answer group, aren't we? One of the best kind.
Yes.
I love it when everybody contributes. And who else is here? Oh, I know there's some people hiding out, but that's okay. God bless you all. Okay, so let's get started. Long, deep breath. And sitting straight, breathing from the belly through the nose. And relaxing. Relaxing. Good. Attention at the third eye point. Good. And now we are going to do our tuning in mantra for protection and guidance. Palms together at the center of the chest if you can. Inhale. Om. Long deep breath. Let's have long deep breath. And now begin heart breath. That is, on the exhale, feel as though the air is coming out of your heart center. keep up heart breath. Good. And now continue to send heart breath to everyone who is on this call or who listens to the recording, and allow yourself to join heart breath with one another. Good. Good. And now we are going to need to do heart breath for someone or a group of people who need healing. So Baba Siri Chand says, please someone speak up and tell us who that is.
Jessica.
Good. Jessica. Okay, she's the one with the liver situation?
Yes.
And what happened?